In 1947, a single dress shocked the world and completely rewrote the rules of women's fashion. Imagine a moment when the world was recovering from war, when clothing was plain, simple, and limited by rationing, and suddenly, out of nowhere, a silhouette appeared that was so bold, so luxurious, and so unapologetically feminine that people either fell in love with it instantly or fiercely protested it. This is the moment when Christian Dior unveiled what would come to be known as the new look, a design that didn't just change clothes but changed the confidence, identity, and freedom of women everywhere. Today, we're going back to that iconic moment to uncover how one collection managed to shift fashion, culture, and society all at once. Welcome to this video, where we explore the story behind Dior's revolutionary new look, the dress that reshaped the future of style. Before Dior, the world had been living through years of war, scarcity, and practicality. Fashion had lost its sparkle, and women's clothing had become purely functional. But Christian Dior believed the world needed beauty again. He dreamed of elegance, curves, and romance returning to women's wardrobes. And with one fashion show in Paris, he turned that dream into reality. In this video, we'll dive deep into the world before Dior, explore the dramatic unveiling of the new look, and examine the global reaction from admiration to outrage. We'll also see how this single design empowered women and built the foundation for modern fashion as we know it. Let's begin the journey into the dress that not only made history, but also gave women a new way to express themselves. Before Christian Dior introduced his revolutionary new look, the world of fashion was in a state of recovery and exhaustion. The 1930s and early 1940s had been overshadowed by World War II, which forced countries to enforce strict fabric rationing. Women's clothing became practical, boxy, and minimal, because every inch of material mattered. Versatility fashion dominated daily life. Narrow skirts, broad shoulders, dull colors, and simple silhouettes designed more for survival than style. Clothing was no longer a form of expression. It was merely functional. Factories produced uniforms instead of couture, and designers were limited in their creative freedom. Europe, especially Paris, the heart of haute couture, suffered greatly as the fashion industry struggled to stay alive under occupation and economic hardship. Women wore repurposed fabrics, mended old garments, and often sewed their own clothes. Glamour felt like a distant dream. After years of fear and sacrifice, the world longed for beauty, softness, and joy. The end of the war opened the door for a new beginning. But no one could have predicted how dramatically fashion was about to transform. Into this grey, restrictive environment stepped Christian Dior, ready to bring color, shape, and romance back to women's wardrobes. Christian Dior's journey to becoming one of the most influential designers in history was far from straightforward. Born in 1905 in Granville, France, Dior grew up in a wealthy family that expected him to pursue a respectable profession. However, young Dior was fascinated by art, shapes, and beauty from an early age. He loved sketching and spent hours imagining garments and forms. His parents disapproved, wanting him to enter diplomacy. But Dior followed his creative instincts. He first opened a small art gallery in Paris, showcasing avant-garde artists until the Great Depression destroyed his family's finances and forced him to close it. After years of financial struggle, Dior found work as a fashion illustrator and eventually joined the design teams of Robert Piguet and later Lucien Lelong, where he refined his understanding of couture. These years shaped his view of elegance and proportion. Dior learned that fashion could change not only appearance but emotion. During the war, he witnessed how women were deprived of luxury, and this planted a powerful idea. Once the war ended, he would restore beauty to their lives. This belief became the foundation of his future vision and the spark that ignited the creation of the new look. The new look was born from Dior's desire to revive femininity and celebrate the female form. After securing financial backing from textile magnate Marcel Bouzak, Dior opened his own couture house in 1946. He worked tirelessly, sketching hundreds of ideas, searching for ways to bring softness and extravagance back into fashion. When he presented his first collection on February 12, 1947, the world had no idea it was about to witness a revolution. Here, the collection featured rounded shoulders, tiny waists, and dramatically full skirt silhouettes that demanded yards and yards of material. Gone were the wartime straight lines and rigid shapes. Dior's designs embraced curves, movement, and luxury. The standout piece, known as the bar suit, represented everything the new look stood for: structural elegance, sculpted femininity, and bold use of fabric. 2. Its hourglass shape redefined fashion in a single moment. Reporters gasped, editors scribbled furiously, and photographers rushed to capture every detail. One editor famously exclaimed, "It's such a new look," giving the collection its iconic name. Dior's creations didn't just offer new clothing, they offered a new vision of womanhood, one that celebrated beauty and individuality after years of sacrifice and hardship. At the heart of the new look stood the bar suit, a design so influential that it became a symbol of a new era in fashion. Crafted with impeccable precision, the suit consisted of a cream-colored tailored jacket with gently sloped shoulders and a sharply cinched waist, paired with a voluminous black skirt that flowed gracefully to mid-calf. The structure of the jacket was architectural. It took layers of quilting, padding, and internal boning to create its distinctive shape. The skirt required nearly 20 yards of fabric, which was astonishing at a time when the world was still recovering from wartime shortages. Every detail was intentional. The silhouette emphasized softness, elegance, and romantic femininity. The bar suit was Dior's declaration that beauty deserved to return to women's lives. It captured the attention of fashion editors, who immediately recognized its groundbreaking nature. It was both nostalgic and modern, combining classical elegance with innovative structure. The bar suit became the centerpiece of Dior's brand identity and has remained one of the most recreated designs in fashion history. Today, it stands in museums around the world, reminding us that a single outfit can define not just a collection, but an entire generation of style. When Dior's new look debuted, the world didn't just react, it erupted. In Paris, fashion editors and celebrities celebrated the designs as a triumphant return to luxury. 2. After years of hardship, many women were eager to embrace elegance again, but not everyone felt the same. Critics argued that Dior's use of excessive fabric was insensitive, especially so soon after the war. Protesters took to the streets with signs condemning the wastefulness. Some women even attempted to pull fabric from the skirts of models, believing the designs insulted wartime struggle. In England, where rationing still continued, the new look was seen as socially irresponsible, and authorities discouraged its adoption. American feminists argued that Dior's designs forced women back into restrictive roles by emphasizing delicate femininity over practicality. Yet, despite the anger, the excitement around the new look grew. Department stores rushed to copy the style, and women across continents began saving money to buy versions of the full skirt. The controversy only made the designs more famous. Dior's collection didn't just introduce a new silhouette, it sparked debates about identity, gender, and society. The world argued loudly, but one thing was clear: Dior had changed fashion forever. Dior's new look didn't only transform clothing, it transformed how women saw themselves. After years of wearing uniforms, boxy coats, and practical garments, the return of soft curves and luxurious fabrics felt like reclaiming a lost part of femininity. The new look allowed women to express beauty, confidence, and grace in ways that wartime life had suppressed. Too many, wearing these dresses was an act of emotional healing. The cinched waist and full skirt celebrated the natural shape of the body, making women feel elegant and empowered. Hollywood quickly embraced the style, and actresses like Marilyn Monroe and Rita Hayworth brought the look to international audiences. For ordinary women, the new look became a symbol of hope and renewal. It represented a shift from survival mode to slit. However, the impact wasn't only positive. Some women felt pressured to conform to the hourglass ideal, and the emphasis on femininity sparked debates about expectations placed on women. Even so, the new look's influence on identity was undeniable. It restored glamour to daily life, offered a new way to celebrate individuality, and reminded women that fashion could be a form of personal transformation, a way to step into a new version of themselves. Defects of the new look extended far beyond the 1940s. Dior didn't simply create a trend, he introduced an aesthetic philosophy that shaped decades of fashion. The hourglass silhouette became the defining style of the 1950s, influencing designers around the world. The idea of constructing garments to sculpt the body rather than simply covering it inspired innovations in tailoring, corsetry, and garment engineering. Designers like Balenciaga, Givenchy, and later Vivienne Westwood and John Galliano reimagined Dior's silhouettes in their own work. Even today, you can see the new look's influence on red carpet gowns, wedding dresses, and high-fashion editorials. Modern Dior creative directors, including Yves Saint Laurent, Raf Simons, and Maria Grazia Curie, have repeatedly paid tribute to the bar suit and its revolutionary shape. Its message celebrating femininity through structure, drama, and movement remains timeless. The new look also reshaped the business of fashion by reaffirming Paris as the global capital of couture. It brought back the idea of runway spectacle, luxurious fabrics, and storytelling through clothing. More than 70 years later, fashion houses still chase the level of impact Dior achieved. His vision continues to guide modern design, proving that true innovation survives across generations. Today, Dior's new look stands as one of the most important moments in fashion history. Its legacy lives not only in museums and fashion textbooks, but in the way designers think about beauty, shape, and femininity. The new look revived haute couture at a moment when it was nearly forgotten, restoring Paris as the heart of global fashion. It showed that clothing could be transformative, capable of lifting spirits, reshaping identity, and even sparking political debate. Dior proved that fashion is not superficial. It reflects the mood of society and has the power to change culture. His vision continues to inspire generations of designers, stylists, filmmakers, and artists. The new look remains a symbol of elegance and craftsmanship, representing the perfect balance between structure and softness. Every time a designer creates a full skirt, a cinched waist, or a dramatic silhouette, they are echoing the impact of Dior's 1947 masterpiece. More importantly, the new look reminds us that fashion is not only about garments, but about emotions, dreams, and the courage to break away from the ordinary. Dior didn't just launch a collection, he launched a revolution that still resonates today, proving that one bold idea can change the world. And so, the story of Dior's new look comes full circle. What began as a bold vision in post-war Paris became a worldwide phenomenon that reshaped fashion, culture, and the very way women saw themselves. The new look wasn't just a collection of clothes, it was a statement of beauty, confidence, and empowerment, at a time when the world desperately needed both. Its influence rippled through decades, inspiring designers, artists, and women across the globe to embrace elegance, creativity, and individuality. Even today, the silhouettes Dior introduced continue to appear on runways, red carpets, and in everyday fashion, proving that true innovation in style is timeless. Dior's legacy reminds us that clothing can carry meaning, transform identity, and reflect the spirit of an era. The new look teaches us that fashion is more than fabric, and stitching it is emotion, expression, and courage made visible. So next time you admire a full skirt, a cinched waist, or a perfectly tailored jacket, remember that it all traces back to that pivotal moment in 1947, when one designer dared to imagine a new world of beauty and, in doing so, changed the way women would dress, move, and feel forever. The new look was not just a dress, it was a revolution.